Imagine being so wealthy that you could gift your wife diamonds worth her entire annual household allowance just for having a baby. That's exactly what Napoleon Bonaparte did when he commissioned the legendary Napoleon Diamond Necklace. A treasure so valuable that its journey from French imperial courts to American high society spans 2 centuries and multiple continents. But why would someone chop off 2 of its precious diamonds? And where did those diamonds disappear to? Today, we're counting down the most beautiful and expensive necklaces ever created, starting with this imperial masterpiece valued at millions that has 2 mysteriously missing diamonds. But before we get started, don't forget to hit like and subscribe button for more exciting stuff. Number 10. Napoleon Diamond Necklace. In 1811, Napoleon Bonaparte did what only an emperor with a colossal ego and an even bigger treasury would do. He commissioned a necklace fit for an empire. Not just any necklace. This one was packed with diamonds so extravagant, it matched Empress Marie Louise's entire annual household budget. That's right, he gifted it to her to celebrate the birth of their son, Napoleon Francois Joseph Charles. Because, of course, royal babies deserve royal bling. Assembled by the elite Parisian jeweler Nitat & Sons, the necklace was appraised at a staggering 376,275 French francs. Fast forward a bit, and Marie Louise is back in Austria after Napoleon's exile in 1815, casually bringing her diamonds along like someone packing for a weekend trip. She wore them in portraits like a living billboard for power and wealth. After her death in 1847, the necklace changed hands within the Habsburg family. Her cousin, Archduchess Sophie, decided it needed a trim, literally. She chopped off 2 diamonds to make earrings. And those earrings vanished, gone. No one knows where they are now. The necklace's journey didn't stop there. It landed with Archduke Charles Louis, whose 3rd wife, Maria Theresa, inherited it in 1914. But the real plot twist came in 1929, when she shipped it across the Atlantic to sell it. It ping-ponged between Europe and nobility and American elite until 1962, when Marjorie Merriweather Post, yes, the serial heiress, bought it from Harry Winston and donated it to the Smithsonian. Estimated today at a jaw-dropping $20 million, the necklace now rests quietly behind glass at the Natural History Museum. Like a retired celebrity who's seen a few revolutions, a couple of exiles, and more family drama than an entire season of Succession. Number 9. Hutton-Mdivani Necklace. When your father is a billionaire and your wedding is to a prince, your gifts tend to break world records. In 1933, Barbara Hutton, heiress to the Woolworth fortune, received one of the most legendary necklaces ever crafted, the Hutton-Mdivani Necklace. It wasn't gold, it wasn't diamonds. It was something far rarer. This piece held 27 perfectly carved jadeite beads, deep green and nearly hypnotic in their beauty. Where did they come from? No one knows for sure. Some say they were cut in the 18th century, but the exact origin remains a mystery, only adding to its allure. The necklace passed through history with the kind of quiet luxury that doesn't need to shout. It wasn't about bling. It was about power, exclusivity, and heritage. Each bead is so uniform, so rich in texture and color, that experts have long called it a masterpiece of jadeite craftsmanship, likely from an imperial Chinese source. And it was Cartier that brought it all together, stringing those ancient beads with an Art Deco clasp made of ruby, diamond, platinum, and gold. Understated? No. Unforgettable? Absolutely. When it went up for auction, collectors knew this wasn't a typical bidding war. It was a battle for history. And Cartier won, again. They snapped it back into their collection for a jaw-dropping $27 million, setting a new world record for a jadeite jewel. It's not about flaunting the price, it's about what that price represents. Legacy, rarity, a piece of the past that somehow still holds power in the present. And now it sits in Cartier's archives like a relic too precious for daily wear, but far too important to ever forget. Number 8. Tiffany Yellow Diamond. In 1877, deep in South Africa's Kimberley mine, something extraordinary was pulled from the earth. A massive 287.42 carat chunk of glowing yellow brilliance. Just a year later, Charles Tiffany, the founder of Tiffany & Co., snapped it up for $18,000, a staggering amount back then. but a small price for what would become one of the most iconic gems in jewelry history. The raw diamond didn't stay rough for long. It was sent off to be cut and polished with surgical precision, emerging as a 128-carat masterpiece. And this wasn't your average diamond cut either. With 82 meticulously placed facets, 24 more than a traditional brilliant cut, the Tiffany Yellow Diamond was shaped not for maximum size, but for maximum color. The result? A golden stone that doesn't just sparkle, it radiates. This diamond isn't passed around like candy at a gala. In over 140 years, only 4 women have had the honor of wearing it. One of them, Audrey Hepburn, who famously wore it in a promotional photo for Breakfast at Tiffany's. More recently, it appeared around Beyoncé's neck, proving it still holds cultural weight like few other jewels on the planet. Its value is hard to pin down, technically priceless to Tiffany, but if we're comparing, the largest D-flawless diamond in the world sold for $33.7 million. And the Tiffany Yellow? While it's never officially been listed for sale, experts agree it would likely command a price well beyond that figure. Locked away in the Tiffany flagship in New York, it's not there to be sold. It's there to remind everyone who walks in, this is the bar. Number 7. Grisogono Creation I. In the world of high-stakes luxury, few jewels have made an entrance quite like this one. In 2017, all eyes turned to a glittering masterpiece simply called Creation I. At its center, a breathtaking 163.41-carat emerald-cut diamond, the largest D-color flawless diamond of its kind ever seen. It was sculpted from a rough stone discovered in Angola and transformed into a one-of-a-kind showstopper by the House of Grisogono. Before it hit the auction block, this giant of a gem made an international tour, stopping in Hong Kong, London, Dubai, and New York. Each city caught a glimpse of the craftsmanship and the raw, commanding beauty of the stone. Suspended on an emerald and diamond necklace, the design wasn't loud or gaudy. It was composed, refined, and lethal in its elegance. When the necklace finally made its way to the Four Seasons Hotel in Geneva, the stakes were sky high. This wasn't just another pretty gem. This was a jewel that could shatter records. And it did. As the second-to-last lot at Christie's Magnificent Jewels auction on November 14, 2017, Creation I sold for $33.7 million. That price sealed its place in history as the most expensive D-color flawless diamond ever sold at auction. Rahul Kadakia, the international head of Christie's Jewels, knew they had something rare. He summed it up perfectly. This wasn't just a diamond sale. It was a power move that put Grisogono in a league of its own. Creation I didn't just go to the highest bidder. It entered the elite ranks of world-famous gems, forever linked to precision, rarity, and unapologetic luxury. Number 6. Marie Antoinette's Pearl Necklace. Marie Antoinette's pearl necklace didn't just break records, it unearthed a piece of lost royal history. After disappearing for over 2 centuries, the iconic piece made its thunderous return to the spotlight at Sotheby's in Geneva on November 15, 2018. The final price? A jaw-dropping $38 million. That's more than triple the previous record held by Elizabeth Taylor's legendary pearl necklace, which sold for $11.8 million back in 2011. This wasn't just any jewelry. It was one of the last whispers of France's most controversial queen. Before her execution at age 37 in 1793, Marie Antoinette had secretly smuggled some of her most prized treasures, this pearl necklace among them, to her family outside France. She knew what was coming. As revolution swept through Paris, the monarchy was unraveling, and she wanted her legacy, her identity, preserved in these rare gems. The necklace itself is a work of incredible craftsmanship. It features a string of natural pearls, topped with a diamond pendant and pole, radiating elegance without even trying. But its real power lies in its story. For 200 years, this jewel vanished from public view, only to resurface like a royal ghost with a vengeance. During the auction, the atmosphere hit a fever pitch. Bidders went head-to-head in a battle that felt less like buying jewelry and more like claiming a piece of history. When the auctioneer shouted, "32 million francs on my right," the room held its breath. The gavel fell, and just like that, Marie Antoinette's pearls shattered yet another record. This wasn't about luxury. It was about survival, secrecy, and a queen's desperate attempt to hold on to something pure while everything else crumbled. And now, it's one of the most valuable and storied pearl necklaces the world has ever seen. Number 5. Patiala Necklace. In 1928, the streets of Paris witnessed something rare. An Indian Maharaja walking into Cartier's headquarters with literal buckets of diamonds and rubies. Sir Bhupinder Singh of Patiala wasn't window shopping. He wanted something monumental, and Cartier delivered. What emerged was the Patiala Necklace, one of the most extravagant and expensive pieces of jewelry ever created. Estimated at a value of $50 million today, this necklace wasn't just large, it was staggering. It featured 2,930 diamonds, weighing in at roughly 1,000 carats. The centerpiece? A mind-blowing 234.65 carat yellow diamond from De Beers, so rare and massive it's been called one of the largest ever set in a necklace. 2 enormous Burmese rubies also found their way into the design, all arranged in a bold Art Deco style that Cartier was pioneering at the time. Cartier was so impressed with their own work, they asked the Maharaja if they could exhibit it before shipping it off to India. He agreed, proudly. The Maharaja wore the necklace often, until his death in 1938. His son wore it once in public in 1941, and then it vanished. For decades, it was gone. Whispers spread that it may have been quietly sold off to deal with looming taxes. Then, in 1982, the massive De Beers diamond resurfaced at a Sotheby's auction in Geneva. And in 1998, Cartier's Eric Nussbaum stumbled across the platinum chains in a second-hand jewelry store in London. They were dull, forgotten, but unmistakably part of the legendary necklace. Cartier bought them back and spent 2 years restoring the piece, using synthetic stones to replace the ones still missing. Today, the necklace tours the world, no longer draped around a prince's neck, but suspended in glass, allowing the rest of us a rare glimpse at a lifestyle few can even begin to touch. Number 4. Coronation Necklace. The Coronation Necklace tells a story that stretches across monarchs, wars, and generations of British royalty. Originally created in 1858 during a turbulent chapter of the Crown's history, this piece was Queen Victoria's answer to loss. After Queen Charlotte's Diamond Riviere was handed over to the King of Hanover following a legal dispute, Victoria turned to Gerard, the royal jeweler, with a bold request. She paid just £65 for the crafting, but the real value was in the diamonds, 28 stones repurposed from her own garter badges, and even a sword hilt. The centerpiece? The 22.48 carat Lahore diamond, plucked from the legendary Timur ruby necklace and given new life as the pendant. 2 more diamonds, 12 carats and 7 carats, were taken from the same epaulette that once held the famous Koh-i-Noor. They were turned into matching earrings. These weren't just accessories, they were symbols of resilience and power, and Victoria wore them with pride, even during her golden and diamond jubilee portraits. After Victoria's death, she left the necklace and earrings to the crown. They became part of the official royal heirlooms, reserved for Britain's most significant ceremonial events. Since then, this necklace has been worn at 4 coronation ceremonies. Queen Elizabeth II favored the set throughout her reign, wearing it at major state events, quietly reinforcing the idea that history lives not only in books, but also around the neck of a monarch. Today, the Coronation Necklace is estimated to be worth around $88 million, but its value goes far beyond carats and cuts. It's an enduring emblem of monarchy, legacy, and the quiet way power can shine, not through extravagance, but through survival, adaptation, and the weight of history worn close to the heart. Number 3. Jeanne Toussaint Necklace. Cartier doesn't just make jewelry, they shape myths. The Jeanne Toussaint Necklace, famously featured in Ocean's 8, wasn't just a cinematic prop. It was based on a real design from the golden age of high jewelry, and the story behind it is just as bold as the film's heist plot. In the movie, Anne Hathaway's character Daphne Kluger wears the necklace to the Met Gala, completely unaware that Sandra Bullock's crew is about to lift it right off her neck. But while Hollywood played with fiction, the truth behind this necklace is even more legendary. Jeanne Toussaint, Cartier's creative powerhouse during the 1930s, was the mind behind the original piece. She wasn't designing for the timid. Her vision helped define Cartier's style, with blending wild elegance with bold statements. In 1931, she created a jaw-dropping necklace for the Maharaja of Nawanagar. Jacques Cartier himself called it a connoisseur's dream, and for good reason. The piece held roughly 500 carats of diamonds, including the astonishing 136.25 carat Queen of Holland diamond, known for its icy blue-white brilliance that puts most modern diamonds to shame. At the time, it was said to be the finest cascade of colored diamonds in the world. Today, that necklace no longer exists in its full glory. It was broken down, its parts scattered into other designs, like royalty retiring into quiet countryside estates. The version seen in Ocean's 8 was a meticulously crafted tribute, reimagined for the film with all the sparkle but none of the original stones. Still, the legend lives on. The recreated Jeanne Toussaint Necklace is now valued at around $150 million, and even though it was made for a movie, its real worth lies in the story it tells. A tale of art, ambition, and diamonds once worn by kings. Number 2. A heritage in bloom. There are diamond necklaces, and then there's a heritage in bloom. Valued at a jaw-dropping $200 million, this isn't just high jewelry. It's engineering, legacy, and obsession stitched into one glittering creation. Designed by Wallace Chan, a name whispered with reverence in the world of fine jewelry, this piece was commissioned by Chow Tai Fook, one of Hong Kong's most powerful jewelry houses. But what truly sets it apart? It's the Cullinan Heritage Diamond, a 507-carat rough stone that produced 24 colorless, internally flawless diamonds, all of which ended up in this single necklace. This necklace weighs in with a center diamond of 383.4 carats and is surrounded by a staggering 11,551 diamonds. That's not a typo. 11,551. And they didn't stop at diamonds. Nearly 600 natural pink diamonds made the cut too, along with 114 icy green jadeites and 72 rare white mutton fat jades. A material so prized in Chinese culture that collectors will pay millions for a single bangle. But the real kicker? It can be worn in 27 different configurations. It's not a necklace. It's a jewelry wardrobe. Wallace Chan didn't just create a piece. You could call it wearable architecture. It took 22 jewelers and 47,000 hours to bring it to life. That's over 5 years of non-stop work if one person tried to do it alone. This isn't the kind of necklace that ends up at a gala or auction. It's too rare, too complex. It's a hidden icon, locked away in a vault or museum, quietly holding court as one of the most valuable jewelry pieces ever made. And yet, few have even seen it in person. That's the magic of a heritage in bloom. It dazzles even in the shadows. Number 1. The McLean Necklace. At the top of the list sits a necklace that's more infamous than fabulous. The McLean Necklace, carrying a price tag of $350 million. This wasn't just any piece of jewelry. It held two of the most legendary diamonds on Earth, the 94.8-carat Star of the East and the notorious Hope Diamond. The combination made it one of the most jaw-dropping and talked about jewelry pieces in American history. Evelyn Walsh McLean, the socialite heiress to a mining fortune, was the final private owner of the Hope Diamond. Her husband, Ned McLean, was heir to the Washington Post fortune, and together, they lived a life of opulence and tragedy. Cartier had sold them the Star of the East back in 1908. And when the Hope Diamond entered the picture, they didn't hesitate. But the gem came with baggage. The Hope Diamond was said to be cursed, and Evelyn wore it like a challenge, flaunting it at every event, wrapping it around her Great Dane's neck, and even letting guests wear it during parties. Her life slowly spiraled into heartbreak, divorce, the death of her children, and ultimately her own death from pneumonia in 1947. She left strict instructions in her will. All her jewelry was to stay in the family until her youngest grandchild turned 25. But debt doesn't wait. Just 2 years later, a court ordered the entire collection sold to settle what was owed. Harry Winston, the famous New York jeweler, swooped in and acquired the lot, including both legendary diamonds. Eventually, he donated the Hope Diamond to the Smithsonian, where it still stuns visitors to this day. But the Star of the East? Its current whereabouts are unknown. The McLean Necklace, once the centerpiece of Washington's elite, now lives on in fragments, one locked behind glass, the other lost in silence. And that wraps up our list of the most stunning and expensive necklaces ever made. From imperial treasures to dazzling gems, each one tells a story of wealth, power, and mystery. Which one was your favorite? Drop a comment below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more luxury stories. See you in the next video.